doubt it.
Moon Club podcast number 206. YouTube version is live right now. The main podcast will start in about 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
Did Sonny organize that last night, the protest?
I don't know how involved. That was a Black Lives Matter thing. I don't know how involved Sonny is with that. I know he's like associated with it, but I don't know.
Does that mean only the black inmates should get the cheap phone calls, or can we let the white ones have it too?
I mean, phone calls should be cheap right now, right? I mean, communication should be cheap. I mean, you said $15 for
15 minutes?
15 or 10 minutes.
That's crazy.
That's criminal.
It's over $1 a minute.
I mean, you should be able to talk. I mean, not all day, but you should be able to spend a 5-minute conversation with somebody, right?
Yeah, I would say an hour a day would be okay.
That shouldn't be a charge, really.
In prison, it's 4 cents a minute. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've heard prison's a lot better than county.
Yeah, but they have limited where, you can only call a half an hour so that no one's using the phone too much.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that.
So why can't they? It's actually pretty much the same company that runs both of them. I don't know why.
Now that I look at this, I think it's an 820, isn't it?
I got it.
It's got the teardrop.
I think my mom got that for me after my stalker hacked my other one and shut it completely down. I couldn't
No
use it
kidding.
anymore.
We are going live, by the way.
Can you see Brittany's face? Is this too high? Can you see the Moon Club sign?
Can't see the baby. Maybe we should put this down.
Everybody wants to see the baby.
Right.
We'll be able to see him from this one for sure. This one's not high enough.
Right.
Super cute.
That is a cute baby. That is one cute baby.
We should do the baby density thing. Punk, punk, pink.
Has Brittany seen that?
I don't know.
You just play it for her.
I think she enjoyed it. 5:55.
And I'm breastfeeding. Just
Yeah.
preborn.
Hey, you know what? Technically, you can breastfeed live on the podcast. It would not be able to say a thing because it's
Yeah.
Did you know that? Yeah.
Well,
You can do it wherever, whenever you want.
Hell yeah. I was reading something today too about the Red Shoe Club. Have you heard that? Is that
The Red
real?
Shoe Club?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
I heard something about that, but go ahead. I want to hear what you say about
It
it.
was saying something about like to get your red shoes, you have to rape, murder, and eat a child, and
Ooh.
then they use the children's skin.
I'll just wear these
I'll
black
just wear
shoes.
the black ones, yeah.
I'm good with
And
that.
It's the same the same person makes those shoes as for the Pope.
Wow. I remember back, I think it was Cinemax, they had something called Red Shoe Diaries, which was like really, really soft, like lame porn. Wasn't that Red Shoe Diaries? Is that something familiar?
Yeah, there was definitely something called Red Shoe Diaries. Although what it was, I couldn't tell you.
That was like Skinemax.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, man, that was porn back when we were kids. Now it's like the stuff the kids have access to.
Yeah.
Which is
I mean-
ideal.
No.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of young kids, I'm talking about teenage and younger, that have just been on their phones looking at porn, and they can't even have a relationship because they can't.
It's different.
Their dicks don't work because they're going at 8 years old. They're like, oh, I'm looking at anal videos, stuff that we had no idea that even was possible, right?
Right.
So their tolerance or their because sex is like a perversion. It keeps going. You keep turning it up as you experience different things.
Yeah.
But they've experienced so much before they even tried it.
Yeah.
That it's just messing up their whole head. And
I was a teenager when we got our first Playboy magazine, and that did the trick. You know what I mean? That's a gentle progression into sexuality. You know what I mean? Looking at women breasts.
I think it's crazy that even the porn industry allows so much craziness to be exposed out there where children are like, oh, this is really what happens. No.
well, the porn industry is going to do
It's not
whatever
really-
makes money.
Yeah.
If it's
That's
gagging
crazy,
and spitting and
what's-
mascara running, if that's what people want to see, that's what they're gonna make.
What's that rule? Is it Rule 43 or something? Where if you can think of it and you can Google it, it exists.
Oh,
if you can
for
think
sure,
of it.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I listened to this one podcast, and it was a girl that got paid to get naked and pop balloons with her butt. That's a fetish. That's a fetish.
If people want to see it and are willing to pay for it, people are gonna do it, right?
You paid $200, I guess, for a couple hours to just popping balloons with their butt.
I mean, I'm not too proud. I mean, how much does it?
Exercise for her butt.
Like, how much does it pay to pop balloons with your butt? I mean, like, I'm not above that.
Yeah.
Is it?
But nobody
Is
wants
it
to watch
$100
you.
an hour?
Well, it
I
might
don't
be
know.
like $5 for you because you're not a hot chick.
I don't know.
I bet
People,
it started in the strip club though.
people
Maybe.
might really want to see me pop balloons with
I
my
swear
butt.
to God, you'll
I don't
find
know
out
who they
fetishes
would
that
be.
way.
What's that?
You'll find out fetishes that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had someone pay me a lot of money for shoes.
For shoes?
They have a foot
You know, they say 1 in 10 people have a foot fetish. I don't get it. I'm neutral. I don't mind. I'll give a foot rub and I don't mind getting one. But I mean, it's not a sexual thing to me. It just feels good.
I mean, having your feet rubbed is a great experience,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The
I'm
right
not opposed
way,
to it.
The right way.
Yeah, but there's not a foot fetish thing going on. But a lot of people, like I said, they say 1 in 10.
I mean, I like to keep my feet
Echo.
really nice, but that's it.
How many people have a foot fetish?
Here's something I found on the web. According to therichest.com, no matter what the reason, foot worshipping is a popular fetish with 90% of the fetishists being male.
That
Oh,
makes
Just
I
so
got
you know,
I got
I can help
559
if you ever
going right
misplace
now.
your phone. Try
didn't
asking
realize
them
it
to
was
call
that.
your phone.
Hey,
What time do you got?
Echo, call my phone.
59.
Calling Austin.
Oh, I don't think this is gonna work. How would she know my number?
Maybe you gave it to her?
I never get cut, Kodo for sure though. Pardon me, my God, you never match what a breakthrough in fashion. I'll reach this
Echo,
back
stop.
down. Tell them the God's gonna put you down.
Oh, wow.
Run on for a long time.
Where is this at?
Run on for a long time.
Hello?
Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
We're live, motherfucker.
Yo, you can never touch this, it's just too much substance. I broke through the chains that away with the cufflinks. You can make a scene, but to me, it's nothing. You never match what a breakthrough in fashion. I'll re-stitch the fabric and bring it back surely. Seen you on the shore, you repping the wrong jersey. Nah, I mean, they on the wrong team. Paper chasers screaming out cream. Lord deliver us, you know I ain't giving up. They just wanna live it up on scratch-offs and $50. Praise to the silly luck, I gotta keep it 100. Run it, clean how I done it. Get it, I operate like City Hall. Gotta put my city on. Didn't fit the first time, but I've been growing into it. They all getting giddy gone. It's hard to say I pity y'all. I'm too busy nodding, rather not respond to kitty calls. Y'all can get your quickie on. Watch what you slipping on. Girl, what you sipping on. Dog, what you barking about. I'd rather be penniless, making plenty sense. You living in a glass house, high rent, solo. I do it on my own, no YOLO. I never get cut. Kodo for sure though. Pardon me, my God, I'm calling on them all. Can't stall, I gotta tell them all. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. 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 Don't tell that long-tongued liar. Don't tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him the God's gonna cut you down. Tell him the God's gonna cut you down.
Peace.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Law for G's apartment, this is the Moon Club podcast with AJ, MJ, and SJ. Stephen Trainer is not here today. Brittany Hendricks and her lovely baby,
Leone. Cade
Hendricks, is here in his place.
making his podcast
And we
debut.
have got a great podcast for you. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Realtor MJ Adelman, Bloomington Normal's premier realtor for the Jewett home selling team at RE/MAX Rising. And I want to be your realtor. And I'll out hustle everybody all day, every day, and then double it up on Sunday to prove it.
Let's see the phases of the moon. Do you know what the moon, where it's at right now?
I'm guessing it's...
No, it's coming up at about 9:10 p.m., but it is 99.9% illuminated tonight. It is currently 6:02 p.m. Tuesday, August 4th, 2020. The moon is 99.9% illuminated. It is currently waxing gibbous. So that means it's not going to be full tomorrow. It is 395,223 kilometers away from us. It is 16 days old, and it is going from the sign of Aquarius into Pisces tonight. Whatever the fuck that means. Oh, watch my mouth.
That's where the moon comes up. In the sky.
Yeah, so I guess it was full last night.
I know when I woke up this
Yeah,
morning, I
what's-
saw a bunch of people commenting that you should go see the moon, but it was at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I could see it. apparently it's pretty spectacular out.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of full moons fall on Tuesdays.
Yeah, I planned it that way.
Yeah.
That's the way I wanted it. I think Leone loves this song.
This is who? Rankin?
Huh?
Who's this?
Franken and Frankenson.
Frankenstein. That's kind of like a Moon Club theme.
Yeah. We dig their beat.
And
So
Jake
we
likes
use
that too.
Alright, we'll let this play out, then we'll get into some stuff. I've got some stuff I want to talk about. Austin's got some stuff he wants to talk about.
I'm going to share
Brittany
with the
has
flat
some
Earth
stuff
groups.
she wants to get off of her chest. But let's start out with Jason Silva, how we usually do. And this is Jason Silva, waxing poetic as only Jason Silva can.
Like Galileo
And
dropped
this
it
one
orange.
is called All Realities
Are Virtual.
And I think he makes some good points. So let's see what Jason Silva has to say.
This is the birth of the age of virtual reality. But the truth of the matter is that all realities are virtual. All right? We see the world as mediated through the sense impressions that our brains interpret that come in through our senses. Our world is already a construction. Further cognitive biases are imposed upon perception by our cultural operating system, by the language in which we speak, by our religious affiliations, and by our preconceptions and prejudices. So all realities are colored, all realities are virtual. But that doesn't make them any less real, because they are still patterns of information. In other words, your filter bubble is as real as any other reality. The dream is real when you're in it. You simultaneously create and perceive your world, like they say in Inception. What's exciting about the nascent industry of virtual reality is that we're finally accepting the fact that reality is just a word, and it has quotation marks around it, as Joseph Campbell says. And so we're freeing ourselves from the notion that we need to be coupled to any one self-limiting reality tunnel, and instead are liberating our imagination to move into spaces and places where we can play. Diane Ackerman talks about the power of deep play. Janet Murray, in her book Hamlet on the Holodeck, talks about the power of immersion. Diane Slattery says that immersion, absolute unmixed attention, is a prerequisite for interpersonal experiences of transformation and education and persuasion to take place. So what's exciting about virtual reality is that it's reconnecting us with feelings of deep presence. It's reconnecting us with that childlike sense of first sight, unencumbered by knowingness. VR potentially is a pathway back into the sacred now. A digitally mediated, mystical experience, an encounter with what matters. Now, as a tool for increased compassion, as a tool for increased creativity, as a tool or a module to experience the astronaut overview effect, to be ripped from your everyday banal reality and connect with the sacred, connect with the awe-inspiring, we know from scientists that experiences of awe stretch our mental models and force us to accommodate ourselves to new possibilities, and that these experiences of cognitive ecstasy leave us with increased compassion, increased creativity, increased well-being, and increased gratitude, blowing our own minds with awe, creating alternative realities and losing ourselves in these exquisite renderings of mind and meaning is fucking therapy. So virtual reality potentially is therapy, and anything less would be a travesty. That, my friends, is the potential of virtual reality.
Alright, so there's a lot to unpack in that for sure.
What's real?
And he goes into it. I'm going to probably even watch that one again later. I know I've seen it before.
Get high and watch it.
Huh?
Get high and watch some Jason Silva.
Oh, man.
Right.
Blows my mind. But, you know, the fact that, like, if you are in a virtual reality, the whole point is that you don't know it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, it's pointless.
Yeah.
So we could be in a virtual reality.
Right.
Still seems real to us, right? Yeah. We still have to get up and go to work in the morning, right?
Right. Well, actually, no.
You don't have
Not right
But
now.
you know what? You don't have to get up and go to work anyway.
Right. You know, Alan Watts says that when we die, we wake up.
I kind of like that. There's a movie that I found, you know, in my
What's up, Dick and Dave?
probably late 20s, early 30s, called Donnie Darko.
Yes.
And I watched that movie quite a few times and never really understood it. And then I found out there was a director's cut out there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I really like kind of connected to the movie. I kind of felt it, but I felt like there's something that I'm missing. So I watched the director's cut, and it's all in there. Like it all makes sense if you watch the director's cut, right?
You know, it kind of made sense with me when they said that the drug he's taking is a placebo. He's taking sugar pills, so they have nothing to do with his reality and how it's being messed with.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
There's a really great line in the movie where his therapist tells him that he's like, you're on sugar pills. You're not even on antidepressants.
Well, that's a director's cut.
Yeah. So then you understand, right? And you're like,
Talks about his dog that crawled under the porch to die.
Yeah.
Because what's the difference if we all die alone? And he did die alone in that, didn't
So the reason you're getting this extra video.
I think if I understand it correctly, he died when the jet engine fell off the plane and crashed to his bedroom. That's when he actually died. But that was, well, I mean.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, we can sit here and debate timelines because
Yeah.
there's a couple different probably alternate theories or alternate universes that could have happened in that movie, but that's what I understand.
Fan theories. Have you seen Donnie Darko, Brittany?
I don't think so.
You gotta add that to your list.
Well,
But isn't that kind of like that one movie where it's like one dream to another dream to another dream, and they try to unlock
Inception?
Inception.
It's not really like that. Like in Inception, the dreams are layered, so you can go to sleep while you're in a dream, right? And then like time slows down even more.
Okay.
I need to watch Inception again because I don't think I 100% get it.
You know what's fun to watch again is Nightmare on Elm Street. Dude, I had no idea that was a comedy because I didn't sleep for 2 weeks after watching that thing.
Yeah, it wasn't very funny to me.
But when you watch it again as an adult, you're like, oh.
But is that it was a comedy, or is that like just the way filmmaking was back then? Like I think they weren't trying to make a comedy. They were trying to make a horror. They were trying to make a horror show, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say comedy. I would say campy. Like it's campy.
Campy,
Like it's aware. Like it knows that like a lot of the stuff it's doing isn't like based in reality.
Yeah.
But it's like we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
To me, that's. I mean, maybe I'm not using the right word. Cassie would know. If we had Cassie here right now,
I think Cassie works.
campy, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Because even you know what? I love the Devil's Rejects and the Rob Zombie movies, and he even throws in comedy into his horror flicks. You know?
Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
Which scene was funny?
You're gonna put me on the spot here. How about when she's like doing the Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees? Look at these.
Okay, yeah, I mean, there's comedic elements to it, but at the same time, I'll say the same thing.
It's horrific.
They're not trying to make a comedy.
Horrific comedy.
Yeah, like there's funny things that happen. People do pretty shitty shit, right? Excuse me.
He doesn't know. Plus he hears it at home.
Oh, they're a sponge. They'll hear everything. They'll be
Hey,
like,
for some reason my kids don't trust them. They know better.
Well, that's important. There's a good time and place to use curse words.
yeah.
And I think the fact that we like just try to like hide curse words from kids is the wrong approach. I think we need to teach them when and where to use curse words.
Yeah.
Right?
I think on your on Cassie's 18th birthday, you got her a book called the F Book or something.
Yeah. You're probably right. You're probably
And
right.
you know what? It's like since I've been here, which has been 2 years, it's like you've never had to hold your tongue in front of your girls, but they don't run around, with a foul mouth anyway. So.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter occasionally will tell me, well, I can't wait until I get old and I can cuss. And when you get older, you can say whatever you want to.
Right.
My oldest daughter is currently over in Afghanistan defending our country. So if she wants to say fuck this or fuck that, she can say whatever the fuck she wants.
Right. She's earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who am I to tell her not to say any word that she wants to say?
Yeah.
My younger daughter, pretty colorful language. I think she's more like an artist with her.
She's a linguist, right?
Yeah.
Debate club.
She uses
like
words in
drama.
good ways. But
Yeah.
when she used, and this is the thing that when we're talking about like stand-up comedy and using like the F word on stage, like you can use the F word on stage, just it's got to have a point to it, right?
Yeah.
You're just not doing it for effect.
Right. Right.
Oh baby. Oh baby. All right.
You know I'm famous for making the perfect sound of a baby crying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can do it.
When we were kids, And you know, a few of my friends know about this. When we were kids, we used to go like into abandoned houses, and I think there was like probably a dozen of us there. It was like 3 cars there, and we're all walking through the house, and it's an abandoned house. And my buddy Craig goes, do the baby cry, and so I go, and dude, there's people jumping out of 2nd-story windows, okay? And me and Craig walk out, and we walk up to this group of people, and this girl's like panting. She goes, Austin, I swear to God, we heard a baby crying in there. And I said, there's a child in there? I ran back into the house.
All right, so I think this is the first time we've had a baby feeding on the Moon Club podcast, but that's all right. This is 2020. We can have that kind of shit going on. It's okay.
It happens.
It's okay.
It's legit.
Yeah. So I've got Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, and these guys have been under fire for like the last,
Dave says the mic volume is low, fellas.
6 or 8 weeks. The mic volume is low?
Dave, can you hear us, or is it just we need to pump it up a little? We need to talk louder.
Anyway, there's not much I can do about.
Let me know.
Not much I can do about the mic volume right
We
now.
just talk louder.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
So this is Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon both being under fire for doing blackface, and I call BS. Sorry, not but BS, because this was done 20 years ago, right? This
Right.
is 20 years ago, and it's a different time, and they're not doing blackface. They're doing a character.
Right.
Jimmy Kimmel's doing Karl Malone, and Jimmy Fallon's doing Chris Rock, and we can't just make up new rules. We can't just say you can't do a black character because it's called blackface, because in the 90s it was acceptable. These are 2 icons. These are 2 of the best to ever do it, and if we're going to cancel them, I don't want to live in a world where these guys get canceled. I don't even want to live in a world where Ellen gets canceled.
Right.
So what? So what? She treats some people like shit on her show. She's earned that. She can do that. She wants to have a perfect show.
But you know, I always thought
Nobody's forced to work with her.
I always thought Ellen was the nicest person in the world.
I knew she wasn't, but
Yeah.
I don't need her to be canceled.
Dude, one of your favorite all-time female comedians, without a doubt?
Ellen, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even. Let's throw female out of it. One of my
Yeah.
all-time favorite comedians.
Okay.
All right, so here we go.
Who cares if she's a C-word?
Well, you know what? The people who work with her don't have to work with her.
Right.
Right? So, but you had a bad experience? Sorry.
Fuck you. Go work for
Move
Maury.
on. Move on.
Paul is apologizing
Ellen
today
Morris
for
was
wearing
canceled.
blackface back in the
she's done.
90s, a decision he
Show will
now
not have another
says
season.
was a mistake.
Jimmy Kimmel is apologizing for appearing in blackface. In this clip from 19 years ago, he's impersonating former NBA star Karl Malone. It aired on Comedy Central's The Man Show, which he co-hosted from 1999 to 2003.
That's called
But he's
positivity
not blackface,
thinking right
he's
there.
black-bodied.
Kimmel, who announced last week that he's
He's all
taking the
blacked
summer
out.
off, has been under increasing pressure to respond after the footage resurfaced on social media.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. The footage
Resurfaced?
It didn't resurface. Like this
It's
has been
always
out
been
there.
We've
It's
talked
always
about
been
it
out there,
several times.
right? So you can't just say, "Oh yeah, this recently resurfaced and this is very troublesome," and whatever. Like it's not troublesome. This happened 20
You know,
years ago.
whenever somebody brings up blackface, people will be like, "Oh, have you seen what Jimmy Kimmel did with Karl Malone?" It's like, "Oh yeah, that was
Well, I
funny."
think it was probably more than a year ago that, like, when people were talking about blackface, and I just kind of brought this up as a joke.
I
I'm
think
like,
Megan Kelly, which was the highest paid female news anchor at the time, lost her job because she said there was nothing wrong with blackface.
right,
And she,
right. Well, no, I think she didn't even say that. I think she said, "Well, what is wrong with doing it?"
right.
Like it was like a question. She's like, "What is wrong with it?" And,
Well, I get the connotations and stuff.
okay. Well, anyway, we'll let this keep going.
There's nothing more important to me than your respect, and I apologize to those who were genuinely hurt or offended by the makeup I wore or the words I spoke, said Kimmel. Kimmel says,
Now, if anybody was truly offended at what he did, that apology should be good enough,
Right.
right? But it's not. It's not what it's about. It's not about being offended. It's about like getting people canceled, right?
I guess. You think his career's over now?
I hope not.
he didn't see it as blackface, but the imitation of a human being. He says he has since matured. Kimmel's apology comes on the heels of his fellow late-night host Jimmy Fallon, who recently begged forgiveness for appearing in blackface on SNL in 2000 to portray comedian Chris Rock.
I realized that I can't not say I'm horrified and I'm sorry and I'm embarrassed.
Meanwhile,
Don't
Tina
ever
Fey is putting
apologize.
All right, and then they go on and say, "Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Don't ever apologize." A matter of fact,
Unless
I'll
you're
say-
actually wrong.
I mean, were they wrong for doing it?
I don't know. But that's like putting blood in the water.
Yeah, I mean, back then, no. Like, if you did it today, yeah, okay, I can see. Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably wouldn't be right, but that's what you call an ex post facto law, right?
Right.
It has become a law, and now it's enforced after you already did it.
Right.
That is unconstitutional. And it goes on to say some stuff. Tina Fey's pulling some of her 30 Rock shows off, where I think John Hamm did blackface.
Yeah. You know, if they want to complain about that, it's like, why don't we talk about the slave masters that we have on our money? Why aren't people pissed off about that?
Okay, you got the floor for the next 20 minutes since you brought it up. Go ahead.
Well, no, it's like Andrew Jackson was one brutal slave master, and he's on our 20, which is the most used bill, I would say.
All right, go ahead.
George Washington on the one, he definitely had slaves.
Washington did?
Of course he did. I don't think there's many people on our money that didn't have slaves.
Lincoln?
Lincoln, of course, he didn't. But you know what? He's got the penny endo. Is it the $5 bill? I'm sure we could think of somebody better than, old white men to put on our money. Like, how about Thurgood Marshall?
Well, you know what's
Aren't they trying to do away with money anyways?
Yeah, that's true. But money's becoming more digital anyway, so it'll probably become like a...
I'd rather have a Bitcoin than a penny any day.
Yeah. Our father was a numismatist, wasn't he?
I'm sorry, Brittany, what did you say?
So soon money will be relevant.
Yeah, I mean, like paper money.
Yeah.
Yeah, cash.
Yeah, you can, and plus it's the dirtiest thing in the world. It's like actually filthy. It carries like germs on it. I guess 99% of it's got cocaine in it. You ever heard that? Or
Yeah.
maybe 90% because the bill.
Not the $1 bill so much, but the hundreds.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know.
All right, so continuing with this cancel culture theme.
It is cancel culture, isn't it?
It is cancel culture.
Yeah.
One of our favorite comedians from our childhood has recently fallen into some problems with what we're calling hostile work environments. And I feel like I brought this up a long time ago. And again, the same way I brought up the Jimmy Kimmel doing Karl Malone. It was I was just kind of kidding. I mean, yeah, he did it. She did it. Maybe she's a bad person. Maybe she's not the most polite or the most decent person to work for.
Maybe she's a perfectionist and she just wants everything to be perfect.
Maybe, but
She's a bitch.
for me, I don't need Ellen canceled. I mean, I just don't. I was just saying, I was never fooled that she was a nice person. I always thought she was probably a hard, difficult person, but here we go.
Under fire again after more co-workers from her show have stepped forward with accusations of a toxic work environment.
Toxic work culture. Toxic work culture. A toxic work environment. Toxic environment.
All right, so there's everybody piling on Ellen, saying that she has a toxic work environment. Have you ever? Well, we know we worked in the food service industry back in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. Like, how toxic was the shit we would say to each other back
Yeah, we
then?
worked with Ellen, and she was always nice to us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Terry Kerrigan.
Yeah. You'd bend somebody over. Wouldn't he?
Brittany, have you ever worked in a toxic work environment?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
Food restaurants are probably the worst. I
Yeah.
actually
Probably the worst.
quit a job and was trying to get my ex-boss fired for harassment.
Sexual harassment?
Yes. It took another girl, a couple actually, after me before Outback decided to be with him. But yeah, he would cut tables, Dwayne, yes. He would cut tables and give me
Oh, he had his
shitty
favorites, didn't he?
sections and
He had his
make-
favorites.
Oh yeah. Well, he was nice. He would be nice and work his way up to a question, and when he didn't get his response, the next day I'd be hosting or have a two-person section.
So you would be on the shit list. So
Yeah.
right? You weren't giving him the favors that he wanted in return.
Well, it's one thing. I'm the type of person, I'll shrug it off anyways, whatever comments you have to say, no big deal. But, and I shrugged he has said some things to me that I've never heard out of anybody
It gets
else.
pretty raunchy there. Or it was when I was working. I was back there in like 2000.
Okay.
So let's contrast.
Well, he
I
even
think-
had like if he would hold the menu, and if you were bigger than the menu, you couldn't even get a job. He wouldn't even hire unattractive people.
Well, that definitely goes on all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, good-looking girls work for just as much as the other ones.
Yeah. And he had a thing about single moms, so it really wasn't a big deal when I started. When I was in high school, you know, there was a few little shots made, but.
So there would be like, I would put up against the complaints that the Ellen employees had. Probably would come to her and be like, hey, I got this idea, and I was like, fuck you, you're retarded, get out of my office. Like,
Right.
That's probably as bad as it got, right?
Right. Well,
I
you
mean-
know, I've heard complaints of don't look at me, don't make eye contact with me before you come in my office, chew gum, because she's got a thing about smell.
Well, here's the thing also, like, she's getting ready to go on stage, and people are probably coming to her all the time, like, with different problems. She's like, I'm getting ready to do a show, right? I'm getting ready to do a show. I got to have this mindset. I got to go out here and deliver this monologue. So people come to her and be like, yeah, before the show, before I'm getting ready to go out there and do my monologue, don't fucking talk to me. Don't look
Right.
at me. Like this.
Have I told you the story about when I told Ellen to go fuck herself? And this is before she was even a bad person.
Go ahead.
I found this video of some raccoon with a bib on eating a bowl of
First
cherries.
of all, full disclaimer, this story cannot be fact checked.
Dude, I can verify this story with a person I used
Oh,
to
you
work with.
can't. You can't.
Yes, I can.
You definitely can't.
Anyway, so
There's so many holes in this story, but go ahead.
I posted this video of a raccoon
I know, right? He's
with a
crazy.
bib on,
He's crazy,
eating
dude.
a bowl of cherries,
Dude, he's crazy, right?
and I got like, I think I got like 600 likes on it, and I won some contest with Ellen, and she's like, hey, to claim your reward for posting this and getting a bunch of likes.
Right.
She's like, click here, and of course I thought it was fake. Because Ellen DeGeneres isn't gonna like instant message me, right?
She just said click here.
Facebook Messenger, yeah.
Click here.
So I typed to Ellen, I said, GFY, I said, go fuck yourself, because I didn't think it was real.
Right.
And I was telling a girl about it the next day, and she was like, oh, did it have a green dot that says verified? That's
Yeah.
Ellen? And I was like, yeah, I most definitely did. And she goes, well, that was Ellen.
And this was on Facebook.
Yeah,
Okay, green dot.
green dot. It says, I think it says verified or something, that
Okay.
they are that person who they are.
Just check.
Yeah, so I told Ellen to go fuck herself, and I'm proud of that now. 'Cause
All right.
I was on the bandwagon before the bandwagon even started rolling down the hill.
I don't usually. I'm gonna have to figure out how to couch this statement. I do like a lot of the things Bill O'Reilly says. I'm not on board with some of the things he says, but I think he's right on with the Ellen thing here. So I wanted to play this.
Oh, can't hear him.
Let's see what's going on here.
Have you seen that the video of him freaking out? It's like, fuck it, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that a smoke detector?
I don't know why your speaker isn't working.
It's on.
Power off. Bluetooth mode.
It sounds like two different Japanese or Chinese women, doesn't it? Gonna cancel me now.
Let me see if I can find it in my speakers.
It's X6.
I'm familiar.
You got 10 people watching, MJ. You gotta pick it up.
All right, I think we're good. Why no sound?
Try playing something else. Oh, got 8 people watching.
Oh,
now.
this says COVID-19 cases continue.
All right, that's working.
What's up, Zach King? Zach King says, "Hey, Brittany, good to see you're doing good." Zach King, I think, is your cousin.
Yeah. it's not
He
my mom's
owns
side.
Warner Media. And they're the company that runs HBO and CNN. So they also own Ellen. Ellen DeGeneres, the liberal icon, the liberal gay icon. Extremely talented woman, by
What's
the way.
wrong, baby?
Very funny, very quick, very sharp. The most successful daytime talk show host right now. 16 years on the air. Well, she's getting investigated by Warner
What's up, Sean
Media
Donovan?
and AT&T for running a program with a, quote, toxic environment.
This is pretty much how we act.
Now, I went over this before. I don't know her very much. I was on a program once. I get along with her. It was a good appearance. She was fair to me. I don't know. The Ellen show is run by hooligans. I don't know. Okay?
Fuck you, go
But
work
I'll
for
tell
Maury.
you, no one's safe.
Or Jerry, he's a nice guy too.
No
Same
one
both of
is
us probably.
Ellen
okay.
DeGeneres can get investigated.
Because
Right.
I would be okay
Yeah.
Right.
No one.
with someone.
You
talking
get you
shit.
get called a retard.
And do I
and an
trust-
asshole every once in a
I
while.
bet they
Warner
expect a lot
Media
from
and
the
people to
producers.
tell the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, just
In this
famous
case,
people in
I
general.
do.
Wait, they're making $100,000
They're
a
not
year?
going to cancel
But
Ellen.
it's not
Yeah, you can call me whatever you want. You get pissed on me.
I thought Ellen was nice.
And
You know,
then,
Russell
well,
Crowe, we all know he's
I
a
don't
dick.
We have some
I
recommendations.
mean, for $100,000 a
the
year, I
Ellen
mean,
show
maybe
behind
like
the scenes.
twice
And
a
that
year I'll get
gives
this
them
done.
cover.
I mean, not every day. Come on.
The next
I got some decency, but
But I'm gonna spit it out.
So
I'm
we're
gonna
not just
swallow it.
investigating conservatives.
I'll pass.
We investigated Ellen. That's what this is all about.
Although, unless it's a baby.
anyway.
He's
Bill
got a
O'Reilly
famous
is
movie
back on
doesn't he?
TV.
Bill
Well, yeah,
O'Reilly?
but I think a lot of his positions are pretty fair. Like I think that was pretty fair about Ellen, right?
Dude, play that freak out of what's his name?
Who are we talking about?
The guy just now. Bill O'Reilly. Play his freak out. Just type in Bill O'Reilly
Oh,
freak
okay, I
out.
don't have that. I don't have that ready to go. Brittany, did you have anything you wanted to talk about?
Well, I sent, what was that video talking about downtown?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the,
So Jen Cavillo.
Did you send it to him? Or I sent it
no,
to him?
we've actually been watching that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's like MJ actually commented on that video last night when it was live, right? When Sonny was downtown Bloomington.
Yeah. Find it here.
I
So-
wonder how much they actually do get paid.
Roy Rambo says Austin should shave his head. You know what? I might just do that, Roy.
So Black Lives Matter was out protesting in front of the McLean County Law and Justice Center, where we hold our temporary prisoners in McLean County here. And I think they have a pretty good point in that there's a lot of people in there awaiting trial that are non-violent offenders. And there's right now a COVID outbreak in the McLean County Jail. Why would we hold non-violent offenders in the jail when there's a possibility we can give them that they could catch COVID-19 in the jail?
Right.
That seems to me like that should fall under the heading of cruel and unusual punishment, maybe, or something
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, why not let them out? So Black Lives Matter was out there, and they were protesting last night.
Black
I'm gonna say I
Lives
agree
Matter
with
of
them.
Bloomington Normal took to the streets near the McLean County Jail tonight, calling on the county to release the detainees. Organizers we spoke with said most of the people in that jail are awaiting trial and can't afford to bail themselves out.
There are people who've already died from COVID being in the jail, and we don't want that to happen.
Should it be BLM? Bloomington Black Lives Matter.
Bloomington City Councilwoman Jennifer Carrillo was ticketed at this
In a fucking
protest.
Prius.
She says she used her car to block the road.
You know, I brought my car up to make sure that, you know, no motorcycle, no motorist was going to come and plow through this crowd, which has happened in Champaign, has happened here. And rather than saying, oh, we'll take care of that, all the women
They gotta enforce
move
the
out
law,
of the way, they decided to ticket me.
Yeah,
She says letting people out of the jail during the outbreak is the quote,
honestly, if our city council members are pulling their cars in front of streets to block the traffic, she should have been arrested, to be honest with you.
No, I think a ticket's legit.
I mean, you're allowed to protest. You're not allowed to disrupt traffic patterns. You're not allowed to do shit like that. I think she should have been arrested. And I like Jen Cavillo, but I think she just does stuff to get her name out there, and that's fine too. That's kind of what all politicians do.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. So we have this video. My co-host just walked away. He's out. Did you see the huge explosion that happened in Beirut this afternoon?
No, I did not.
So
Probably grocery shopping.
we don't really even know exactly 100% what's going on here, but this was a massive explosion that happened in Beirut. And let's go ahead and play it.
Many who have been through the Civil War, through the 2006 Lebanon-Israel War, never have seen an explosion of this magnitude. The hospitals here in Beirut are overwhelmed with the injured. The Hotel Dieu tells us that they have accepted at least 400 injured, another hospital getting at least 60, and that's just two hospitals. The Lebanese Red Cross has called for all its ambulances in the entire country of Lebanon to come to Beirut immediately to help with taking the injured to get treatment. Eyewitnesses are telling me that they saw people being treated on the street, others being given CPR on the sidewalk. There is no part of this city where damage has not occurred. The number of dead is still not clear. This was preceded by some sort of fire in a warehouse in Beirut's port. The national news agency, the official agency, said that the warehouse was full of fireworks, but Abbas Ibrahim, the head of Lebanese General Security, said it would be naive to think that an explosion of this magnitude was caused by mere fireworks. But at this point, it's unclear what was the cause of that explosion, but what is as clear as day is that this
will continue to monitor what's going on in Beirut, and we will give you a full report every hour, on the hour, until we die.
Yeah.
What else you got, Austin?
Well, I got shit.
You got shit?
I don't have anything.
Brittany, what do you got?
About that or any topic?
Anything you want to talk about?
Okay, so I'm not exactly sure where that bombing happened.
Beirut, Lebanon.
That's
Middle East.
Yeah, right next to Libya, right above Africa, Egypt.
Okay.
Eastern Bloc.
Yeah, right next to the Mediterranean Sea.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty big one.
We're safe here.
Are we?
Yeah, you know,
I mean, from
Lebanon's
that,
always been.
we might have other problems to worry about, like.
Lebanon's always been kind of a
Civil
hot spot.
unrest.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's right there. With Jerusalem, it's right there next to Israel.
We always think we can help the Middle East solve their problems. We can't. They got to figure it out themselves. They're so deep into their hatred for each other. Like,
I know, you know, it's like American government's been balls deep in like Israel, fucking Libya,
that's what I'm
Iraq,
saying. We've
Iran,
always thought we could help them solve it. We can't. They've got to figure it out
Lebanon.
themselves.
How are we going to solve any problems that we don't already have over here?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Well, you know what? I
Right.
think kind of the United States as being the world sheriff or the world police is kind of starting to diminish. I can see China becoming the world economic leader. I can see us kind of like losing ground as far as, you know what the number one business in the world is? The United States Department of Defense. Number one employer. The United States Department of Defense employs more people than Walmart.
And why do you think that is?
Because we want to stay on top.
Mm-hmm. Probably about right.
Yeah.
Brittany, you were saying something right before Austin started talking.
You know, I was saying we're not that safe when it comes to our own government, you know.
Yeah,
We've got
I
our
mean,
own people fighting, you know, for equal rights in our own government, and our own government is trafficking children.
our own government is trafficking children. I didn't know about that.
Well, it happens.
I mean, trafficking children happens all the time. I don't know if is the government involved?
Well, I mean, how many children went missing that we collected from the border?
I don't know.
Didn't they say 15? I saw like an article that said there's like 1,500 children that were missing.
Well, that's definitely a tragedy. And hopefully those children, I mean, I guess, if we go back to what I think you're talking about, it was when there was a whole bunch of people marching up from like Belize. Like it started in Belize and they march up through Mexico.
Yeah, they went through Belize, but I think it was like South America. Yeah, they were coming from.
Yeah, well, it has happened many times. So like they do this march and they get to the U.S. border and Trump was like, we're not going to let them in. And I guess some people that have brought their children, like their children were locked in cages, and that's a bad deal. At the same time, we kind of have to enforce borders. So, you brought your children to the border where you didn't have a right to get in, and the children got put in cages. So it's kind of on the parents, but at the same time, like, as a United States citizen, I don't want to say, yeah, we should be putting kids in cages. That doesn't seem like a good idea. But, I'm not going to bring my kid to a place where they might get put into a cage either. Like,
well, you know what? I think that at the same time, they were, I think they were running from like a
So they're
a
looking,
civil war
they're
in their
looking
country.
for they're looking for a better life, right?
Yeah.
And that is the promise of America, is that we're always, we're supposed to be that beacon on the hill. We're supposed to be that
You should have come here when
light.
Jimmy Carter was president, not Donald Trump.
I think you'd have a better chance to get locked up when Jimmy Carter was a president,
You
or
think?
when Obama was a president. For sure, you
Yeah?
did. For sure, you did. Yeah.
So you're pro Donald Trump and not pro
No, I'm just calling
Obama?
things how I see it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if you look up how many people got locked up when Obama was president, it's gonna be a lot more than when Donald Trump was president.
Okay.
Crossing the border. I mean, those are all statistics and facts that are out there. They're available. You can look at them. I look at them. I know what they are.
So Dave says firework factory, ? And yeah, it didn't look like a firework factory exploding to me either.
No.
It looked like an A-bomb, like an atomic bomb. Not a nuclear bomb, but an atomic bomb. Probably take out like 8 square blocks. And right now, I guess they say it's 78 dead. I'm reading it, 78 dead and 2,000 people injured.
Yeah, those numbers always go up.
Yeah, they're going to go up.
Those are the preliminary numbers, but I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be thousands dead.
David Castillo says, but where did the kids disappear to? 1,500 kids missing on the border.
Well, the problem is statistics, right?
Right.
So there's numerous different people down there, and there's civil rights groups and stuff like down there keeping numbers, but the numbers get screwed up because different people have different agendas, right? You're like, oh yeah, 1,500 kids came through here and they're missing.
I think they should check Ghislaine's basement.
Maybe.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
And that's your name for her, Ghislaine. Her real name is Jolene, right?
Her real name is Jizan.
Jizan?
Yeah.
Jizan. Okay, I get it.
But yeah, it's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal when countries are so suppressed and mismanaged that people want to flee those countries and come to other countries. But yet at the same time, you can't blame the United States for wanting to secure our borders either, because bad people do come over those borders, right?
Uh-huh.
So, the fact that Donald Trump says, "Hey, we have to secure our borders," I'm not mad at that. I don't get mad at that.
Dave said, "Rep Herman Cain." Who is that?
Herman Cain ran for president.
Did he?
Herman Cain
the
also
first black man
said,
to run for president?
I don't know if he was the first black man to run for president.
Was he black
Maybe
man
he
though?
was. Yeah, and Herman Cain also said that he didn't believe the coronavirus was real, went to a Trump campaign rally, caught the coronavirus, and died last week.
No shit.
You didn't hear about this?
No.
Like, how could you not hear about this?
I don't know. I guess I'm not watching the Herman Cain news.
Yeah. So, called bullshit on the wrong thing. Went to a campaign rally.
Lived by the
didn't wear
sword.
a mask. Yeah. If you want to say that, live by the sword, die by the sword. Yeah, he definitely did.
Live by the virus, die by the virus.
Rip Herman Cain. Hey, you know what?
Hey, sorry, brother.
You called bullshit on the wrong thing.
Right.
Science is real.
I wonder if he was an Ellen fan. Stage 4 cancer. Stop. That's what Dave said. He had stage 4 cancer, not the coronavirus.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
How do you know? Is Herman Cain a friend of yours, David?
I've got this video called "The Simulation is Broken." I don't even remember what it's about. I just remembered it was something I wanted to play if we ever didn't have anything to talk about.
Pay close attention to this. From start to end, you're about to see something that you cannot unsee once you see it. Something that will leave you with questions, that will challenge the deepest parts of your mind to logic out any form of possible answers. Let's begin. A British politician left the building with a red folder, which turned to green live on air. Chancellor Rishi Sunak walking out of Downing Street and past a car. Sunak's folder appears to change color from the classic minister robe to bright green in a matter of seconds on the Sky News broadcast.
Is that a glitch in the Matrix?
There's been numerous theories for how this could have happened. With some people
bullshit on that. There was something better that I had though. I played it for you, right?
Yeah, you played that for me.
No, it was like 10 creepy things or something.
Oh, the Watch Mojo.
Was it Watch Mojo?
Dude, I watch Mojo all the time. You watch Mojo, Brittany?
I watch a lot of cartoons.
Yeah, because of kids?
All right. Well, let's play this one. This is a Jacksonville woman, and she's in a store without a mask, and then somebody calls her out on it, and then she walks over and says, "I'm going to cough all over you without my mask."
Which is assault, right?
Well, yeah, it is.
Potential.
Do you really need this? What do you want to do? Post it for you? How about that? Good. I think I'll get real close to you and cough on you then. How's that?
Oh,
asshole.
wow. No way.
Let's go.
I bet she's voting for Trump.
I mean, I have so many questions about this video. It's like, first of all, why do you think it's okay to come up and cough on somebody? And it's probably because somebody's sitting there and recording you on their phone. So you're like, well, why is this person recording?
Was it because she didn't have a mask on?
My question is, what happened before that, right? What happened before that video?
I think it was probably this girl's walking around without a mask, and somebody's like, "You should put a mask on." And she's like, "Go fuck yourself." And she's like, "You start recording it."
Maybe. But I walk into a lot of places and there's people without masks on all over the place, right?
Yeah, and dude, I walk around. I went to Walmart recently without a mask, and I walked to Jewel Osco without a mask, and I didn't even so much as get a bad look from somebody, you know.
But in this day and age where we know the virus can be spread, like if you cough or if you like even breathe really heavy, like these droplets can spread. Like it is our kind of our obligation to be wearing masks in public, right?
Yeah.
Like I just wear this around my neck, so whenever I go in a store, I can just pull it up.
Yeah. You know,
I always forget it. So if I don't want to forget it, I just wear it around my neck.
I mean, if I have a mask, I'll wear it. But if I don't, I'm not going to go home and get it. You know, I will social distance. I will stay away from people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be coughing.
Well, I mean, I can
somebody's
understand
face.
for you because when you leave the house, you got so many different things you have to do.
Right. You got to realize
Like,
you got a responsibility.
You got like work, kids, job, responsibility, grocery store, podcast. Like there's just so many stuff going on. You're like, I can't be responsible for remembering to wear a mask in public. That's just that's just too much.
That's just ridiculous.
That's too much for you.
I just leave mine in the car, but I still choose not to wear it sometimes. But not because I'm like claustrophobic and I've been like suffering from PSD, so I struggle with big crowds anyways. I hate Walmart. So to have a mask on top of walking around, sometimes I can't breathe. So I'll just not wear it.
Yeah, you know,
but you can wear a bandana, and that's a lot easier to breathe with a bandana, right? Just so that your droplets don't spread. Like it probably make it a lot better.
I normally don't look out in public too often anyway, so.
But if you gotta go to the grocery store, maybe you gotta get some Infamil, or maybe you don't have to get Infamil because.
And I do Walmart pickup, so.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
I'll do Walmart at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, just to stay away from people.
So Walmart does grocery store pickup. I think Hy-Vee does too.
Yeah.
I think.
So if you do the grocery store pickup and just don't let the girls spit in your mouth anymore, I think you're pretty much home free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, hey,
so what else you got, Austin?
Can I spit in your mouth? It's like, okay, once. But then I'm going to cut you off. You know, because there's a COVID-19 going around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I missed COVID 1 through 18, but I caught up on COVID-19, so I feel like I got the whole story.
Okay, check this out. Search Tesla and
Edison,
just
SpaceX, Lamborghini, Elon.
You know what? Let's talk about
S&P 500, China.
Hey, how about this? How about Doug and Bob? Search SpaceX Doug and Bob coming back because I watched that live yesterday when they actually landed the. I think it's the first time in over a few decades where we have actually launched people from the United States, went to the space station, and then we brought them back safely. Because we've been using the Russian Soyuz capsule to put people to the space station, American people.
What's it called?
SpaceX Doug and Bob return.
What's the name of the capsule?
It's the Dragon capsule that SpaceX used just recently. It landed yesterday. And we actually, for the first time in, like I said, a few decades, launched people from the United States and brought them back in United States SpaceX Dragon capsule. And their names are Doug and Bob. And you know what? If Steve was here, we were gonna do like a voiceover of them like getting out of the capsule. It's like, hey, quit pulling on my hose, you hoser.
I'm sure that would have been funny.
Yeah, because Doug and Bob McKenzie. Hey, you hoser.
So to wrap things up, speaking of coming back down from space, is that an okay thing?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So we do have words from or just word. Yesterday there was a kind of like the pre-no-go, go-no-go poll or kind of press conference in regards to DM2. So Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley, of course, Dragon capsule that's been up on station for about 2 months now. They are scheduled to return home on August 2nd. So that is, for those of you listening, we'll actually start most likely deorbiting and the undocking events on Saturday night. And then from then on, depending on the landing site, they'll come home anywhere between 6 hours to 30 hours after that. So depending on phasing and orbital alignments and orbital maneuvering, and which site they choose. Now don't forget there is a hurricane literally heading up to Florida right now.
The most boring thing
And
I've
all
ever
of their
seen in my
landing
life.
sites are...
I'm done with that. Brittany, did you have anything else you wanted to add to the Moon Club podcast? Anything you wanted to talk about? So, we were talking about earlier, like protection orders and stuff like that, but I don't know if you wanted to mention that.
Oh yeah, yeah, since we're all talking about, you know, the police and what they're doing, and, you know, they're willing to give someone a ticket for, you know, stopping traffic, but, you know, I have openly talked to officers, called so many police over my ex violating an order of protection, and, you know, they just don't seem to want to arrest him about it. And so he gets to move freely and do whatever he wants to, while the police generally just bypass what he's doing for one reason or another.
Okay. So they are not enforcing an order of protection against this person who is actively doing things within, like, what is the order of protection? Is it like, I don't know, is it 1,000 feet?
Is it 1,000 feet?
It's 500 feet.
500 feet?
500 feet. So, I mean, if somebody's going through your garbage, they're probably 500 feet from your residence, right?
Or like
well,
20
I mean,
feet,
I
no?
got video of him driving down the street waving at my daughter, you know, where you can clearly see it's him, you can see it, his girlfriend's car, you know, all of that. So it's and they have all of that, and they have like threatening text messages and, you know, all of that. The last conversation I had with the detective, he basically told me, well, just give it time. I'm sure he'll do something that we can put him away for a long time.
So they're waiting for something, for him to do something that would be criminal or something.
Yeah,
like,
maybe her to show up dead.
But right.
I mean, that
that's
could
the thing.
be what the first criminal thing he could do could be like.
Well, the officer also informed me, well, I don't think he would kill the mother of his children. It's like, isn't that typically how that goes in these certain circumstances?
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
a woman shows up dead, her husband's the most likely suspect.
You don't think, but I have to live with that in my head, right?
Right.
Like, I don't think he would, but would he? I don't know.
I mean,
that's kind of a shitty thing to say.
somewhere-
I don't think he'd do that.
Well, you know, it's like I
That's
watch a
easy
lot of
for him to
YouTube.
believe.
Whenever a woman shows up dead, I mean, her husband or her lover is the most likely suspect every time.
Right. Well, and then not to mention, like, I have the order of protection for a reason. You know, I've had him point a loaded gun at me. I've had him choke me unconscious and be, you know, glad that I'm still alive. And for them to sit there and say, well, you know, he's going to do something sooner or later. They're aware that he's out here with guns. They're aware that he drives by.
So literally, their response to you is, we're just going to have to wait until he does something crazy enough to be
Right.
arrested.
Well, and then on top of that, you know, he's under influences that, you know, are unpredictable to me. So how are they supposed to predict how he's going to act? If he feels comfortable enough to break the order of protection to drive down my street, what makes him think that the next time he's not going to follow me somewhere else? You know, and then, you know, him driving by, I have to worry about my kids. My kids can't play outside because I have to worry about whether he's going to try to snatch them or not if they're too close to the street. Like, it doesn't, it doesn't affect them and what they want. And what they want is either to catch him with some miracle case because they've been waiting for that. I mean, the last 8 years, I've never seen someone so slick. And they just, either that or, you know, he's helping them.
So if you were going to make a plea tonight to the Bloomington Police or whoever the authorities might be, it's like, is it just like enforce the police, enforce the
well, it's like
order of
these
protection?
are the same people, you know, who've dealt with other domestic violence and, you know, the same old story. Oh, she went back and forth, she went back and forth. Well, regardless of what the story is, I have an order of protection that you all told me to get. So now I have it, and I have the cameras, like all of you told me to get. Now I have
Okay,
video
but
and everything
and
else,
I understand
then
all
they still
that,
don't
and
wanna
I
do
understand
anything
it's
about it.
frustrating for you, but I'm trying to look at this from the point of view of the police. So,
Well, I think
they're looking at the order of protection, and they're probably looking at, oh, well, you have video of him driving down the street, but what can we do with that? And they also know.
Well, if they have video of me stealing at Walmart, they're going to arrest me. If they have any kind of evidence of anything, of breaking any kind of law, they would arrest me.
They would arrest you, for sure. So,
Right.
okay, so, and look, I'm not trying to put you on trial here, but, so if you're showing them video of him driving down the street, and he's in a car, and he's got a mask on, are they gonna be able to identify him? Like, did you get the license
Who
plate
else?
number?
Yeah, the whole
You
car.
got all that
is
stuff,
on,
and you
yeah.
showed it to them, and still,
Yes.
they're like, no?
Yes.
They're like, no, we can't arrest him for that because why?
Well,
maybe they have some kind of relationship
Hold
with
on,
him.
Austin.
Well, I mean, whatever their agenda of it is, my agenda is that he broke the law, so why is he not arrested? Their
Okay.
agenda is, well, let's get him on something that's, you know, harder, or maybe, you know, they do have some kind of arrangement where they need him out here to do whatever they need him to do. But the bottom line of it is that, so you're gonna give someone special treatment.
Right,
I
and you're a citizen,
Right.
and you're asking for protection.
Right.
From the people that are supposed to protect us, which are the police, the Bloomington Police, and this is Bloomington, right?
Yes.
So, you feel like you presented them with evidence that is enough to at least have this person arrested or taken off the streets and at least told that he cannot be breaking this order of protection that you have.
He's been told. He got served, so he's been told that he is not to be around me.
And he's
or
still
my
breaking the order
children.
of protection.
And he's still breaking it.
Okay, so.
And they allow it one way or another. And I mean, I'm talking about, I've had GPSs put on my car. I've had my phone completely taken offline, refactory set it.
Can I back you up just a second?
Yeah.
Who put GPSs on your car?
My ex put a
Okay.
GPS on my car.
And can you prove that definitively?
Yes, I have a video of my
What-
aunt taking it off my car after
What did
the
you
day of
put,
the
like
car.
a old cell phone?
Hold on. You have video of your aunt taking it off, but that doesn't really prove who put it on there, right? I'm just
Well-
playing the devil's advocate here.
No, I know it was him because that day he kept following me everywhere, and then
Okay.
when I finally lost him, because I parked in Bloomington Bloomington Police Department parking lot.
Again,
where I
playing the
knew-
devil's advocate, you know it was him.
I know
Okay,
it was
and
him.
I accept your word on that, but we can't prove that because.
Which I never tried to get charges put on him for that
Okay.
because of
But
that.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate for the police and what their stance would be. And that I could see they probably couldn't have any action against him. Although if he was driving down your street and we can prove that you were holding your phone up and recording him driving down your street, even if we couldn't identify him wearing a mask and wearing a hat or a hoodie or whatever, driving in his car, if we got the license plate number in that video, that should be enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That should be enough for the police to do something.
Yes.
And you have that kind of evidence.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I have that same car, a picture of that same car with his girlfriend sitting in it, with her license plate and her car description, to show side by side that that video is the exact same car that she was sitting in, that is registered to her, that he is currently in a relationship with. So, that being said, everybody in the courthouse knows that they're in a relationship because he is a joke to everybody around. So, all law enforcement is aware of what he is doing and where he is at and everything else, and they are just letting it go.
Okay. Well,
It's on record now.
And I'm sorry you have to go through all that, but yeah, it's on public record now because this is going out YouTube, or not YouTube, it'll go on YouTube, but it's on Facebook Live now, so if anything happens to you or that little beautiful kid right there.
Which is crazy because I also like leave other things with other people just in case, because if something happens to me, my kids are getting paid.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Alright. Well, hey, I think we should go out on that. You guys have anything else you want to talk about before we go out? Brittany, what's your favorite song in the world that I can play on YouTube without getting kicked off?
At Last by Etta James.
Oh, nice. Nice.
At Last? At Last.
At last.
Actually, it's his favorite song, but it gets him to be quiet, so I'll live with that.
Yeah.
We should be able to go out on that. Keep it real loud.
One of the most famous songs of all time.
It's actually Shameless.
Shameless?
Yeah. So it's like, oh.
You've been watching that?
Season
Are you on
9?
Season 8? Season 8?
No,
I haven't seen
I
season
saw
9.
the final episode, but it took me a couple weeks, and it's like, oh wait, they can't watch it.
Moon Club Podcast number 206. We out.